Alright fellas, in this video I'm going to be looking at a couple of things you can do to give yourself a bit of temporary relief. They're not quick fix to get rid of the whole issue of SD, but what they will do a lot of the time, they'll give you that bit of relief when you're in particularly challenging time. So one of the first one I'm going to look at is apple cider vinegar. So what can you do with this to get that bit of relief? So if you've got a scalp problem, so your scalp's inflamed, you can take apple cider vinegar, mix it 1-to-1 with water. So half water, half apple cider vinegar, mix that in, and then just use it like a shampoo. So bathe it over, let it sort of leave it for a couple of minutes on your scalp, on your hair, and then wash it out as you would with shampoo. And what this will do is it won't fix the root cause of your problem, but in a lot of people's cases, a lot of people have had found that that's actually helped ease the symptoms with it being anti-inflammatory, and it just makes it a little bit more manageable in those times when it's tough. And yeah, it just gives you that smoother, less inflamed scalp. Another thing you can do is Dead Sea salt water washes. So I've done videos on both of these, apple cider vinegar and Dead Sea salt, but I'm just going to touch on the sort of basics. So you typically get a bowl of water, lukewarm water, and you'd mix it at whatever concentration it says on the pack, so that you can mimic the Dead Sea salt water. Essentially, you're just trying to get it back to where it would be if you were to bathe in the Dead Sea, and then you put it in a towel, a cloth, and you bathe that over your skin leave it on for about 2 minutes for it to start doing its work. It's very kind of good for healing, Dead Sea salt solution. There's a lot of healing properties with salt water like that, and it's good at getting the kind of conditions on the skin healthier and back to where they should be when they've kind of strayed away from that with your SD. So you can then, once that's done, you can wash it off with cool water and just damp towel dry the area that you've put it on over the face, and that a lot of people find their skin starts going a lot smoother, a lot nicer, and I've definitely found that myself. But again, I'll just say again, it's not a permanent solution to solving the root cause of your problem, but it will give you that nice bit of relief a lot of the time, in a lot of cases, when you are suffering. So again, no steroid creams, as I touched on in one of the other videos, but just to emphasise that again. And another thing people can do as a kind of tool to use is water fasting. So just to give you a bit of background on what that is, it's essentially where you don't eat foods and you just drink water for a certain period of time. So typically you wouldn't try and do it for any great length of time on your first time. You would start with like 18 hours, and you just drink water when you're feeling hungry, and drink plenty of water throughout the day for those 18 hours, and then people typically build up. So if the first one you did 18, you might do 24 hours the next time, you might try 2 days the next time, and typically build it up to a week if you're going down that route, and you want to try water fasting. So it's very good for the heat, to cleanse and to get the healing process underway, and water fasting does that. I mean, if you think about the kind of plant-based diet and how good that is for the body's healing process, water fasting, you're not putting any kind of any foods in at all for that period. So it really is just a very good way of cleansing, you see. So what you should tend to do is not to use tap water. Use like a spring water or a Brita filtered or distilled water. But yeah, it's basically helping the cleansing process. And if you are coming out of a fast, typically don't jump into solid food straight away. Start with juices after you've been water fasting, and then build back into the plant-based diet. So don't do this fasting thinking it's going to cure everything and then you can just start eating rubbish again. That wouldn't work, and that would just undo all of the process that you've initiated on the fast. So yeah, just think a couple of things to bear in mind. If you do have a history of heart problems or any kind of dangers like heart attacks in your family, it might be best to avoid it because there's more chance of getting these while doing water fasting. But yeah, and if you ever do feel unwell doing it, make sure that you come out of it and start drinking juices again, rather than just kind of jump back into a diet, especially if it's not a healthy one. I mean, you should be on the kind of plant-based diet. That's the best thing to kind of for the healing in general. So yeah, I mean, that was just a couple of things I wanted to cover in this video. It's the last one of the series, but it doesn't mean I'm going to be still doing content. But it's the last part of this. And what I wanted to sort of just say is, I do actually do a 90-day coaching program. So if that's something you're interested in, by all means, book a consultation call, and that'll be a free call. And I'll just get to know a bit about the individual, get to know a bit about yourself, and work out a plan based on some of the concepts I've covered, how we can specifically to you make things so that we can get you on the road to recovery and get you clear skin. So yeah, but for the first, it is a paid service for the 90-day program, but for the first 3 people, I'll actually do it for free. So, if it is something you're interested in, click on, put your details in, book yourself a consultation call, and I'm still going to do the content anyway. So if that's something you're interested in, just subscribe to the channels, and I'll keep you posted. So yeah, thanks for that, and I hope you learned something.